Hello and welcome. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at Project Cars versus Assetto Corsa. So what we're going to do is just a quick rundown comparing the two on my system. I'm using a G25 Logitech force feedback wheel for the gameplay instead of a controller. So we're just going to have a quick jump into the options, have a look at gameplay first. No steering assistance, no braking assistance, driving assist is real, no guiding lines, no track map to tell us where we need to go. Now, it's been a little while since I've been on this track I'm going to use, so we'll have to have a look-see. So we're going to use a McLaren MP12C, and we're also going to use Imola. Now, both of these features are also in Assetto Corsa. So 3 laps and away we go. Now, the cam we're going to use for driving is just going to be a bog standard bonnet cam. Again, I'll use bonnet cam in Assetto Corsa. So if you just watch this, and we will talk soon.
Okay, focus on the lights. Let's try and make up some ground off the line. Keep it clean.
Alright, so we're away off the start. Okay. First of all, I want to talk about handling of the cars. Now, a bit cheeky. Right, now I'm using the Logitech G25 wheel to control this, as well as Assetto Corsa in a minute. But the feedback I'm getting through the wheel isn't as great as I would have expected. It seems that this game has been designed with a gamepad in mind, not the type of race seat, force feedback loving sim racing guys what are kind of out there today. It is easy to come off sometimes, as you've just found out, but that's partly due to I literally had the steering wheel in full lock left, not going really very fast. No feedback through the wheel as such with regards to grip and things, so I'm kind of not feeling the car, right? On a flat surface like this we're on now, all over the track is as smooth as butter. I'm not feeling any bump from this road now. I'm on the road, driving up the road, doing what, 229, something like that, straight on the brakes right now. Up until I braked, I didn't feel anything at all from that road surface. Sorry. So all this is just smooth, it's just flat. Not a bump in the road, not a mark, it's just been tarmacked just for today. No. Games don't work like that, and racetracks certainly don't work like that. I mean, scuffing the apex like now, bit of force feedback through the wheel there, same again there, back on the power, a touch of the force feedback, but the wheel is not fighting as I think it should do for a car what's got a few hundred horsepower under its bonnet, and we're clipping grass and what else. So for me, with regards to the handling of the car, from a gamepad perspective, it might be absolutely amazing. For my G25 wheel, straight out of the box without having to mess with any settings for the wheel itself, it's kind of disappointing at the fact that at this left hand corner my wheel is going to be straight the way over left and then straight the way over right, with there's no grip, there's nothing in the wheel to suggest I'm losing grip, I'm going over. It's just it's a lot of forgiveness there. A lot of people, like one of the reviews I've read, the fanboys out there, shall we say, they'll say yeah, but it's still amazing.
From what we can see on the screens, it looks like you've got some aero damage. You better make it back to the pit.
I'll make it back to the pit. So yeah, as I was saying, they'll say yeah, but it ain't supposed to be a real sim, or it's not supposed to be a race sim, and then arguments and debates come up on which is better, Assetto Corsa or Project Cars. Well, as we're going to find out in a minute, I'll tell you my opinion. So right, we've done the handling. It's not everything it's cracked up to be for me. I'll still play the game, but I'm not really going to rave about it too much with regards to the handling. However, I will rave about it with its sublime, the engine of the game, the look of the game, the shadowing, the lighting, the changeable weather, the helmet cam in the cars. I mean, come on, There is no other game out now that will touch this visually. None whatsoever. You can forget Forza, you can forget your Gran Turismos, you can forget your grid games and whatever games you like to play. There is no game out there visually better than this. This game is just amazing. Weather changes, the rain, you know, when you brake in the rain, you get your light reflection off the floor, you get your windscreen covered in water and window wipers are going and all you can see is brake lights because there's just rain everywhere. Come off there. So with regards to graphics, 10 out of 10. Handling, I'd kind of give it a 7. I'd kind of give it a 7 /8. We'll say a 7.5. Purely because the game itself, although enjoyable and fun to play, isn't quite what I thought it would be with all the hype what kind of surrounded the game itself. Nonetheless, it is still going to be a fantastic and fun game to play for everybody who likes the Xbox 360s, Xbox One, PlayStation, whatever it's coming out on. And I'm sure that everybody's going to love it on their control pads. With regards to wheels, depending on what wheel you use, I suppose, again, everybody's got different setups, everybody likes it different ways. But with me right now, straight out the box, straight on, this is how it handles, and I ain't quite keen. So I'm going to have a play on my settings to ensure I enjoy the game as much as possible. So overall, taking into graphics, I'd give a 10 out of 10. Overall, I'd say I'm going to give this game, I'd give it an 8.5, and then we'll have a look at Assetto Corsa and move on from there. Okay. Right, okay, moving on. So now we are on Assetto Corsa, and boy is this game loud. Now, the graphics we'll start off with on Assetto Corsa. The graphics aren't quite everything Project Cars is, which is a shame. However, the lighting on the game is amazing. The graphics, the cars, the detail, it's just amazing. However, Project Cars surpasses it greatly, purely because the lighting, the reflections, the views you've got out of inside your car, where you can have the helmet cam in Project Cars and everything else, kind of pushes Assetto Corsa aside, like a 21-year-old taking a lollipop from a 5-year-old. Right, but the key factor I want to look at now is handling from Assetto Corsa to Project Cars. Now in Assetto Corsa, these roads aren't as smooth as butter. In fact, it almost feels like you're rubbing your hands across a cactus at some points in the road. As you can see, the car is juddering and jumping and bouncing. Everything you see on the screen now where that camera moves, you feel 100% through that wheel. There is, and this is straight out the box, again, stability off, ABS, traction, everything's off. Okay, now as we're doing this, they are straight off, literally too much power as I hit the apex, off we go. Right, now, but as I'm driving across this road now, it's bumping, the car's jumping, it's having a bounce, every time it's having a slight twitch, it's twitching there, now I need to brake, I need to slow down. There you are, look, my wheels now are yellow from braking too hard or or anything like that. Right now, I hit the wall on Project Cars, sorry, to get bad aero damage. Now, literally, too heavy on the brakes will lock this car. Right, didn't really feel it so much in Project Cars. However, you're doing this. So, for me, the handling of this game and the less forgivingness of this game makes this game more frustrating, more of a pain in the arse to play, but more rewarding when you go online and there's a pack of 20 or whatever, and you can get into the middle of the pack. I mean, I've gone online, raced my ass off, sweated buckets on a Assetto Corsa, and I've managed like anywhere between 3rd and 8th, 9th, 10th. But what I kind of love about this is you feel the car. You're turning left and you hit a dip, you're gonna feel it. Project Cars, not so much. So basing numbers, we'll go in numbers. So I gave Project Cars on the handling 7.5. I gave it graphics a 10. Right now, this handling wise over Project Cars, I'd give this, I'd say 8.5, 9. I've not really tried it with a pad, right? So for me, I'd say 8.5, 9 on the handling. However, graphically, I'd say 7.5 to maybe 8. So overall, if you want something what seems a little bit more competitive, you like the frustration, you like that edge of being a race driver, and you want the force feedback on your wheel, then I'd say this is where you need to be. You need to be learning your setups, learning your aerodynamic settings. You need to be on a Assetto Corsa. Now, if you're just playing with your mates, you like a bit of banter, but you also like the graphical look. Not so much really interested in the gameplay because you own a console and you love Forza and you love Gran Turismo on your PlayStations, then Project Cars is where you want to be. Now, unfortunately, Assetto Corsa isn't on console. So I'll let you think about that now. So you've got Project Cars, a sim racer on console and PC, and you've got Assetto Corsa, another sim racer on PC only. Kind of speaks for itself on the direction this went. Now, this was a crowd-funded project, and hats off to every single one of you who stepped forward and helped this project with Project Cars get off the ground. That was a crowd-funded thing, and that was a job well done, because that game will be truly enjoyable. I am not slating that game whatsoever. I've got my issues with it, and I've named my issues, but overall I think people are going to have such a great time playing on that game with their friends. It's going to be amazing. But what makes a racing game is the frustration that you and your mates are that close and you hit an old cove like I did back there and you spin off. That's the frustration of racing, and Project Cars doesn't give me that frustration because it is too forgiving. It's like you've just robbed the bank and then the manager turned around and says, "Don't worry about it." You're going to keep doing it, but it gets enjoyable, I suppose. Who knows? Anyway, that's my view, and I don't think that's ever going to change, to be honest, but we'll see in time. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.